Hola amores, and welcome back to the channel. And to those who don't know me, I am Maritza, currently a graduate master's student in psychology. And today we're going to be talking about what in the world is cognitive dissonance and why it's something that can really be destroying our minds. So let's understand it and let's get into it right now. I will start with a saying in Spanish that goes like this: Más vale entenderlo tarde que no entenderlo nunca. And it means it is better to understand it late than to never understand it at all. Okay? So, my loves, exactly what is cognitive dissonance? Well, in definition, I will tell you right now. It is a mental discomfort, stress, or psychological tension experienced when holding two or more contradictory beliefs or values or attitudes, or when our behavior conflicts with our own beliefs. So, now your turn. Please look back and ask yourself if you have ever done something that you knew it was so stupid. You went ahead and did it anyways, and then you spent the next few hours coming up with Oscar-winning speeches just to justify yourself of why it actually was a great thing to do. Well, yes, I have done that too. And it's not just you being a stubborn person. No, this shit is actually a psychological glitch called cognitive dissonance. So first, my friends, please think of your brain like a computer and think of your beliefs as the software. When you take an action that contradicts those beliefs, like for example, knowing that smoking is something bad for you, but you end up lighting it anyways, then it's like you trying to run a Windows and a Mac both at the same time. And essentially the systems will just crash. Psychologist Leon Festinger discovered this in the 1950s. He found that That humans have an inner drive to keep our beliefs and our behaviors in harmony. And when they're not in harmony, we automatically begin to feel a literal physical discomfort inside of us. It's like a mental itch you can't seem to be able to scratch it. So what can we do to fix that mental itch? Well, our brain usually does one of these three things. And let's use the next example. It is 10 p.m., late at night, and I say to myself, oh, I wish I could be fit. I want to be fit, but I'll just be fit after I eat this whole box of donuts. And afterwards, then let's decide what our brains could do. First thing is, we can change that behavior of deciding to eat the box of donuts, and you can just decide to throw the box away or to give it away. However, this one is probably the hardest path out of all three, and in reality, it rarely happens. The second thing our brain can do is we can try and change our original belief or our desire to be fit, and we say to ourselves, you know what? What the heck? I'm going to decide to just eat this. Plus, life is too short, and being fit, that's really overrated nowadays. So let's go ahead and eat the box of donuts, right? Or the third thing we can do is we can add a new second belief to our original belief, which was to try and be fit. Well, in this case, we can say to ourselves, well, I'm going to eat it, but definitely tomorrow I'm going to try and walk a whole lot. And basically that is cardio on its own. And you see what happened there? You did not solve the problem. You just edited the reality so you could sleep at night. But now, my friends, I want to talk to you about why this trap is so dangerous. You know why? Because it did not only happen with the donuts. It happens in every aspect of our lives. And this is why people stay in toxic relationships. This is why people join cults. Yes, this is why you can't win an argument on the internet, because once someone has invested their time, their money, or their ego into a bad choice, like maybe eating a box of donuts at night, then this is way too wrong and too painful to finally admit it. Our brains will literally rewrite all the facts just to protect our own ego. And we either keep justifying our actions or we admit what we are doing and make a change. So, for example, when talking about relationships, you might end up staying with someone who treats you very poorly. And instead of you leaving the person and standing up for yourself and choosing your own peace, you tell yourself, you know what, they did something bad to me, but I know they're just stressed. I know they didn't do it on purpose. And plus, I know they will change. And no relationship is perfect, right? You tell yourself. Or maybe, let's say you have a shopping problem and you keep buying and buying expensive things all the time that you don't need. And plus, you can't even afford. It's just on the credit cards. And then you say to yourself, well, this is an investment, right? And plus, I deserve it. Or listen, I could not let it go. It was a great deal. And why do our brains constantly continue doing this? Well, because our brain values consistency more than the actual truth. And admitting you're doing something wrong is going to threaten your own identity and your own sense of control. So what is our solution? How do you stop? Well, first, you start leaning into that discomfort. And the next time you feel yourself getting defensive or making an excuse for yourself in something that is not doing you any good, then stop it right away and ask yourself, am I right or am I just trying to stop the dissonance? And my loves, at that moment realize that being wrong feels like shit, but staying in the wrong is a lot worse. You have the power to change, and plus, life is only a learning process for all. So take it day by day. And remember one thing, if we want different results, then we need to start doing things differently every day. And know that cognitive dissonance is not a flaw, it's just a defense mechanism. But when you learn to recognize these things, you begin to gain control over your decisions and your life, instead of continue letting your ego take control over you. And with this, we have reached the end of today's video. But I invite all of you to connect with me through Instagram. Go and check out my other music relaxing channel here on YouTube. And go and see the channel's membership just in case you may find it useful. Once again, I am Maritza, and know that I will try my best to continue always keep bringing you ways on how to create a better bond with yourself and a more meaningful relationship with all those around you. Mwah! Till next time. Ciao, ciao, my loves. Ciao, ciao. My amores.